Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Obsessive Compulsive Gaming. I am the Obsessive Compulsive Gamer.
And I am Bertram.
And I am Professor Charles Waldman.
And this is our review for The Amazing Spider-Man. So there viewer, The Amazing Spider-Man originally released in 2012. A year I remember fondly as the year I first played such fantastic video games as Far Cry 3, Okami HD, and Borderlands 2. It was also the year I met the Kingpin at an all-you-can-eat buffet, called him a fat bastard, and proceeded to be inducted into witness protection, where I have been since that very bloody day. But we're not here to talk about that. No, we are here to discuss The Amazing Spider-Man. And like that beautiful bearded bastard Barry Burton, you're probably wondering,
what is this? What is it? What is this?
The Amazing Spider-Man is an action-adventure game thing based on the movie of the same name from those talented bastards at Beenox, a company that made two of my favorite Spider-Man video games, those being Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions and Spider-Man Edge of Time. But how does Amazing Spider-Man fare compared to those games?
It's amazing.
I guess we'll find out.
It's amazing.
Like I said, we will find out.
It's amazing.
Oh, shut up. So, what's the story of Amazing Spider-Man? I'm so glad you asked, dear viewer. This game is actually a sequel to the movie The Amazing Spider-Man, and finds a whole load of cross-species bastards set loose on New York City. So as per usual, it's up to Spider-Man to set things right.
He's such a friendly chap. Did I ever tell you that he helped me with my...
That's nice, Professor. So, as Spider-Man, you'll swing around New York City, stopping crimes, fighting enemies, taking pictures, collecting comic books. All of that usual Spider-Man bollocks. So, let's review this video game the only way I know how. Badly. And let's start with what I liked about The Amazing Spider-Man. Oh, speaking of things I like it when you subscribe to the channel, dear viewer. So do that for me, post haste. And I might not just send a crate of poisonous spiders to your very residence. The first thing I simply must commend The Amazing Spider-Man for is its boss fights. Though these are mostly against giant robot machine things, courtesy of this game's main villain, Alistair Smith, they are a lot of fun.
I actually think it's pronounced Smythe.
And I think you should shut your whoring mouth.
Oh my!
Apologies, Professor. I'm on my period. Ha ha. Another thing I like about The Amazing Spider-Man is that the story introduces characters we never got to see in any of the Amazing Spider-Man movies, like the aforementioned evil bastard Alistair Smith,
Smythe,
and Scorpion. The sound is also pretty good. Nice music. Can't tell if it's the same score from the movie. I don't think so. But there's also some good voice acting here. The game, also like Bertram in the Nude, isn't too bad to look at.
Oh, thank you.
Sorry. Did I say Bertram in the Nude? I meant Bertie.
But he's a cat. He's always nude.
And like I said, he isn't bad to look at. Right, I've had enough being nice to this game. Let's talk about what I didn't like so much about the Amazing Spider-Man. Now, I might have enjoyed the boss fights, but apart from the aforementioned robot fights or occasionally beating up a cross-species arsehole like Scorpion or the Lizard, there isn't much variety in the game's boss fights. I would have liked to see a couple more of Spider-Man's villains, but alas, I also experienced some frame rate issues on my beloved PlayStation 3, which is not something I usually mention, but I have to pad out this review somehow.
I did offer to sing a musical number in the middle.
No one wants to hear that, Bertram, let alone me.
Yes, I actually wouldn't mind a song.
Shut up, Professor. And the final thing I'll say that annoys me about this game is that unlike Beenox's previous Spider-Man games, this one doesn't feature any of those nice FMV cutscenes. This, sadly, is something that will carry over to The Amazing Spider-Man 2. But we'll deal with that when we talk about that game. So, what do I think? Well, The Amazing Spider-Man is a good Spider-Man game with some nice boss fights. It, of course, does not hold a candle to Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions or even Spider-Man The Edge of Time, but I do so hope that we get a remaster/remake/adult movie parody at some point in the future.
What?
Therefore, I declare that The Amazing Spider-Man is rather good. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, my review for The Amazing Spider-Man. If you enjoyed this little review of mine, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't enjoyed it, well then feel free to give me a thumbs down. But please remember the single most important thing I always tell you, dear viewer, and that is to always stay obsessed with gaming. Say goodbye, Bertram.
Goodbye, Bertram.
Say goodbye, Professor.
Yes, goodbye, Professor. In fact, OCGO boy, I think there's a Spider-Man porn parody out there. In fact, there's probably 100 of the damn things.
Well, gentlemen, if you'll excuse me. Are you still here? Oh, you must have really enjoyed this video then. In that case, you had better subscribe to the channel and check out our other content. Otherwise, you're a booby pants, and no one wants to be a booby pants.